Welcome to yoga. My name's Sarah. This is a prenatal mini episode. We'll take about 4 of these in a row. And if you can just carve out 30 minutes a day, this is perfect. You don't need too much, you don't need too little. And then you can take little, nuggets that you learn, stretches that you really, really like and can feel better in your body in, and then take those maybe off the mat before bed or, to start your morning with. So let's get started. We're in seated. When I was pregnant, seated felt fine for me. If for some reason seated doesn't feel good for you, you can take your knees wide and sit more of in an athletic shape. You can also sit on like in a mermaid position. This is kind of nice just to have your knees splayed out so that there's more room for your belly. All right, so however you want to sit, let's just sit and check into the natural rhythm of your breath. Maybe take some shoulder rolls, maybe take some head rolls. You have arrived. There's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do for the next 30 minutes. We're breathing and we're moving and we're connecting. Those first breaths kind of take a lot out of you, right? You're thinking too much, or like, am I doing this right? I want you to take one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. This bottom hand is the one that's going to move first. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly. Exhale. We'll do that again. This time I want you to feel the top hand. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Put it all together and you'll feel this bottom hand lift and this top hand lift. Beautiful. Take a couple more breaths here. And last big breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. And exhale through your nose, getting out any stagnant air out of the body from the base of your belly. Flicker your eyes open, hands to your heart. We'll take our arms all the way up to the sky. Breathe in. On your exhale, hands come to your side. All right, from here, let's start to walk our hands forward. And we're just leaning into the hips here, not trying to go anywhere too fast. Sometimes these first stretches of the morning are the most important stretches you do all day. Let's walk our hands off center. Right hand on top of your left. Take your left temple down or your ear down to your bicep. Beautiful. Walk it back to center and then take it over to the right. Stack your left hand on top of your right hand. Take your right ear down. Coming back to center, let's walk our hands in, and if you had a different cross of your legs, switch your cross. If you mermaid your legs, let's go ahead and mermaid to the other side. And again, you can sit however you want to sit. Take your hands to your heart. Inhale, take them up. Breathe in. Exhale, down. And we'll slowly start to walk your hands forward. Big reach here. And on your out breath, let's take both hands over to the right. Coming back to center, we'll take both hands over to the left. Beautiful. Coming back to center, and we'll walk both of our hands up, up, up. Extend your feet out in front of you long. Your feet are flexed. For prenatal yoga, I love using props such as pillows, bolsters. It's a very restorative practice. Not really a time in yoga to strive or overstretch. We want to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. We want to put you in a more relaxed state. All right, so take your block or your pillow, maybe even a rolled up quilt right in your lap, and all we're doing is folding over. Feet stay flexed. If you can grab your toes, great. If you can't, that's okay too. And you have a pretty wide gap between your feet so that your belly has room. And we'll just be here for a few breaths, inhaling and exhaling over the legs. This pose is called caterpillar. So instead of finding that active stretch, instead of really using your biceps to pull your face down, I want us to take more of a passive stretch, meaning a more restful stretch. So taking any clinging away from the backs of your legs, the backs of your hamstrings, releasing any weight of your head from your neck, no tension holding in the jaw or the ears. Relax your forehead. Relax your face. Any clinging you have in the lower back, the lumbar spine, I want you to physically and intentionally send your breath there. Beautiful. And on your next inhale, we'll look up. Face your feet. All right, take your pillow aside. Cross your ankles in front of you, and then come to hands and knees. Finding a little cat-cow here. Inhale, open to cow. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis, cat. Inhale back into cow pose, look up. And exhale, cat. Push the hands into the mat, the knees into the mat. And your cervical spine stretches. Curl under your toes. Hips go high, downward facing dog. You're in inverted V, and if it feels good, you can pedal at your feet, bending one leg, straightening the other. Beautiful. And from here, slowly start to walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Separate your feet about hip width distance. Micro bend your knees or deep bend your knees, up to you. Release the weight of your head from your neck and just slowly start to rock here from side to side. Beautiful. Take your hands down. Separate your feet even more. And with your right hand planted, bend your right knee, left arm up. Nice big open chest, open belly twist. Exhale, pulls you down. Reset here, left hand plants in the middle, left knee bends, inhale, right arm up. If you lost track of your breath, it's that deep diaphragmatic breath in through your nose, hitting the base of your belly. Big, deep breaths. From here, take both of your hands down. And then our hands find our hips, micro bend your knees. With the control, so not to get dizzy, we come up, your head being the last thing to come up. Beautiful, and we'll walk it to the top of our mat. Arms at side body. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Release the weight of your head from your neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Back knee down, top of the back foot down. Inhale, arms up, look up, Anjaneyasana. Big, generous breaths here in your modified crescent lunge. Beautiful, hands frame your front foot, shift your hips back. From here, walk your hands on either side of your foot, curl under your back toes, left hand plants, right arm goes up, dragonfly twist. Beautiful, and then both hands come down. Front foot steps back, you're back in downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. If down dog's not serving you today, I want you to drop your knees, shift your hips back for child's pose. You can also get your pillow again for child's pose and take it on a bolster or a pillow. Again, we have 5 breaths in either down dog or child's pose, balasana. And if you're in that second, third trimester and your belly needs more room, you can always open your knees as wide as you need to create a safe space for your belly. 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. And last big breath. Curling under our toes. Let's start to walk our hands back to our feet again. And this time your peace fingers, that's your pointer in your middle, grab onto your big toe. So like you made like a J shape and you're hooking your toes. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Parangushtasana. Beautiful. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Release your fingers from your toes, hands to your hips, micro bend your feet, micro bend your knees, and slowly bone by bone roll all the way up. Walk to the top of your mat. Arms at your side. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Release the weight of your head from your neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, step your right foot back knee down, top of the back foot down. Inhale, arms up, look up. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Taking these deep, generous breaths here in a pose that might not feel so gentle today. You can pad the right knee. You can also not dig in as much and keep it more of just a 90-90 pose. So again, make the pose fit your body. From here, hands plant on either side of your left foot. Shift your hips back. Half split. Ardha Hanumasana. Inhale, look up. Walk your hands on either side of your left foot to frame it. Curl under your back toes, keeping your right hand where it is. Inhale, left arm up. So this is dragonfly twist. And if you're in a group yoga class, we want to not do any harsh twisting, any closed twisting, but these open belly twists are perfectly fine. So by closed twist, y'all stay here. By closed twist, I mean anything that's like really contracting, like a crescent twist. That's a big no-no. But here we can stay nice and open. There's lots of room for our belly, and the twist is from the chest. The twist is from up top. Beautiful. Both hands plant. Step the left foot back, downward facing dog, or child's pose. 5 breaths. And for whatever reason today, I don't know if I have some sinus stuff going on or allergies. It does not feel good to me to be in down dog. So if you're having a lot of pressure, especially in like the nasal area, the forehead, drop it down to child's pose. We have 3 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose, chest, ribs, belly, ribs, chest. And exhale through the nose, chest, ribs, belly. Let's take one more deep, generous breath. Beautiful, and then flicker your eyes open. Coming out of this, we'll move right into our flow today. So just a short mini flow. Take your right foot, stick it all the way up in between your hands. Dial down the back foot at about 45 degrees, and up we go into Warrior One. Virabhadrasana 1. Deep, generous bend in the right knee. Equal amount of weight in both feet. Your arms are up, but your heels are rooted. From here, hands move through center. We're opening up Warrior Two. So we have an external rotation in the hips. Your hips are directly under your shoulders and your arms are teed out. Your gaze is forward. Your gaze is drishti. So drishti is our gaze where we look in between your front middle fingers. Inhale, up, up, up. We're taking star pose. Your feet will turn towards me. And on your out breath, fold. So we're folding forward, Prasarita Padottanasana. And if you need to bend and straighten your legs, sometimes that's a big intense stretch for the hamstrings, you can. Walk your hands back if you need more. Beautiful. Hands to your hips, micro bend your knees. Let's roll all the way up. And we'll take our arms all the way up and back. We'll take these big circles just a couple times, working on mobility in the shoulders. Louis. We have a dog at home. We're dog lovers here, so you might see my dog sometime in my videos. He's an old guy. He's 12. He's been with me for a long time. And we'll switch directions. Louis, lay down. Good job. We're just switching directions, working on those ball and socket joints, hips and shoulders. Lean into warrior two again. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse. On your out breath, we're taking runner's lunge and then scooching our foot over, really digging in deep here. So runner's lunge is where we would frame the foot. We're scooting the foot over for lizard lunge is what we're doing. So your hands to the inside of your right foot. You can always drop your back knee, top of the foot down. If you need an advancement or a variation, bend the back leg. See if you can take a bind here, hand to foot. You can peek over your right shoulder. Beautiful, slowly release. And we'll plant both of our hands, step the right foot back. Down dog. Step the left foot in between the hands, dial down the back foot. Virabhadrasana 1, we're back in warrior 1. Your deep, generous bend in this left leg, but don't sacrifice the weight that needs to be in the right leg. So sometimes we want to dip it forward. Let's bring it back to center, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Warrior 1, look up. Fluid, even breath, inhale. Exhale, hands move through your heart. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Watch where your hips are stacking. Watch your joint spaces. Watch your energy lines here. Straight line of energy is the strongest one. If you threw yourself off center, notice the intensity that changes. And we move into a straight energy line and suddenly we feel a little bit lighter. Beautiful. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse. On your exhale, spiral down, runner's lunge. Scoot your left foot to the left and then bring both hands to the right for lizard lunge. And if it's okay for your psoas, for the hip flexor, drop to the knee, top of the foot down. You can also bend the back leg, reach around with your left hand and see if we can grab the foot. One side will be a little tighter, it's okay. No judgment, it just means that's the side maybe we don't practice as much or we have an injury or something that we need to take care of. Either way, no judgment. Breath to tension. Slowly release your foot. Let's take both hands down and this left knee will meet the knee. We're in box again. Shift your weight to the left and back to the right, up, and then take that circle again. We'll switch directions, so right, back, left, up, and keep circling, coming back to center. Cross your ankles, we'll come to seated again. Okay, your feet are flexed. You might need some space in between your feet to maintain a space for your belly. And from here, inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, grab your toes. So that first pose, caterpillar, was very passive. Now we're going to tap into our strength and make it a little active. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze your toes to your biceps. Oh. Beautiful. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release your feet. Pulling your feet in, toes together, and feet together. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Baddha Konasana. We're opening up through the hips, We're also getting some nice stretch in the cervical spine as we release the head to our feet. 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release your feet. All right. From here, let's take just the left foot in. So you're pulling your knee in first. Now we take our foot and we open it up almost like a tree pose, but we're seated. If you've been coming for a while, you can also flip the top of the foot up and place it right at your hip crease. And this left knee will find the mat. So either way, variation 1 or 2. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, lead with your lowest rib, open and fold. If your belly, if you're in that, that space where you're accommodating your belly, you can always open up to the diagonal. And that just means your belly has a bigger space to land. Either way. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release your foot. We'll take it on the opposite side. Extend your left leg, foot is nice and flexed, toes pull out towards the kneecap, and you engage the muscles of your quad. This right foot can tuck in right to where your hip meets your pelvis. You can also take the foot into a half lotus, Ardha Baddha, that just means half bound, and you can make more of a shape like this. Either way, it's the same stretch essentially, it's just a little bit easier on the joints to not bind. Breathe in, take it up, breathe out, fold it forward. Trying to keep this left knee on the ground, back of knee on the ground. Our expectations of what we think yoga should look like determines much of our experience. Inhale, look up, release your foot. So for the next, 5 minutes as we start to bring it down to the mat, I want you to just notice thoughts that bubble up. Don't get involved, just let it come and let it go. And almost like an act of self-discipline, we're working on the let go of anxiety, expectation. I had a lot of anxiety when I was pregnant about just the pregnancy. So the more we can tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, the more valuable those tools will be, both with the birth process and beyond with recovery. All right, pad your hips. So anytime we lay on our back in yoga, in prenatal yoga, we have to pad the hips. Let me grab a little blanket. So we're padding our hips, and you can use a blanket, you can use a towel, just something to elevate your hips. It doesn't have to be a huge elevation, just enough to where you are not flat on your back, on your mat. Okay, so with your hips padded, pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a really big hug, and then take your toes to touch, knees open wide, and we're circling it up here again. Big hip circles. Take both of your feet up for waterfall. Tee out your arms and draw little infinity symbols in the sky. This is rejuvenation pose. Fresh blood to your lower extremities helps with swollen feet, swollen ankles, varicose veins, and hemorrhoids. Find some stillness, and we'll cross our right ankle on top of our left knee for half pigeon on the back. So this is a reclined pigeon. And you can weave, you can stay here, you could also weave your hand through this hole you've made and pull everything into your midline. Beautiful, one more breath here. Taking your left leg up, meet your right leg at the top. Flex and point, and then keeping your right leg where it is, take your left leg to the top of your right knee for your supine half pigeon on your other side. So weave that arm through the window if you took it on the opposite side. Pull everything into your midline and hold and breathe. One more big deep diaphragmatic breath here. And exhale, release. All right. So for twisting in yoga, again, we don't take any closed twists. So we're turning all the weight of our body to the left first. All right. So we're in fetus pose. Now I want you to extend both of your arms left. Now take this top arm over to the right, and we've opened our chest for a nice thoracic chest opener without ever compromising our baby. This is how we twist in prenatal yoga. Big breath in, big breath out. Maybe take your gaze to the right, too. If you're having some inconsistency with the hips and you're like, this just doesn't feel right in my low back, you can also put some space in between the knees for these twists, and that helps support the pelvis and support the hips. So either way, and that can be done with a block, a pillow, or a blanket rolled up in between your knees. All right, let's bring it back to center. And we'll drop everything over to the right for fetus pose just for a moment as we set up for our twist. So stack your palms. And then we'll take a big breathe in as we open, look left, gaze left. See if we can keep both shoulders on the mat. And if it feels okay, stay where you are or add that pillow variation in the knees. Again, either way, and you'll just have to find what works. And these are those poses that I talked about at the beginning of class that will carry off into your day. And if you need just a little decompression at night, this is a great place to land. A couple breaths on each side, you're good. Come back to center. All right, and we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana. So your heels are together, your toes are together, put them on the mat. And your back is still supported, just a tiny lift right underneath the sacrum, blanket or block or pillow. Your arms are at your side. I'm gonna exit the pose, stay here. And we'll be here for just a couple breaths, nothing too strenuous, but if you do need support here, you can place blocks or pillows underneath your thigh bones too. Letting go of any muscular engagement in the hips, along the fronts of the legs, the jaw, the forehead, the temples. With this next exhale, let everything melt away. Breathe in and exhale. Beautiful. From here, let's take our hands to our thigh bones and pull them up. You'll need the help of your hands to pull those knees together. And we'll extend the right leg, the left leg, and hand to heart, one hand to belly. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. A quick little Shavasana before we end today.
slowly start to bring the awareness back to your breath. Deepening inhales, deepening exhales. Bring mindful movement into the body, maybe with some arm circles, some wrist circles, some ankle rolls. Reach the arms up, feet down. Like it's the first stretch of your morning. And then we'll pull one leg and then the other into the chest. Big hug here. Slowly roll to your left. Pausing a moment in fetus position, thinking of 3 things you're grateful for today, big or small. Beautiful, and then push into the earth. Rise up, meet me in seated as we close out our short prenatal practice today. Hands meet at your heart, gently bow your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. And exhale. From my heart directly to yours, all my love, all my blessings, and all my light. Namaste.